Kite Man, hell yeah, is hella weird, but it's Kite Man, so that's to be expected. The Harley Quinn show had its own hurdles, but this is something else. I'd say this annoyed me less than season 3 and 4 of that show, but it did get a lot more strange. I mean, just to explain, there's a time-traveling toilet which people just casually use. You'd think after its first episode that it would get boarded up, but here it is, being used again vindictively to send abusive parents back in time, and for a little girl to accidentally use. A lot of times the metricability of a show is judged by how funny they are, which my sense of humor is broken, so I'm not really one to judge. I mostly watch the show neutrally to see what they do. Martian Manhunter randomly showing up out of nowhere was pretty funny. Glad the one incident making me laugh wasn't black humor. I'll give him that. A Martian Manhunter reveal which caught me by surprise. There are a lot of recasts for the show, which creates more distance from the main Harley Quinn show. I mean, honestly, the show is already really flimsy with world building already, and at this point, it's fun to see other people voice these characters and have their own spins. I think Lance Reddick as Lex is much better than Carlos Esposito. Like, he was fun, but Lance is more of an intimidation, which better contrasts with other characters. Good final role for the dude. Darkseid on the flip side is played more goofily. Michael Ironside was fun as a more serious Darkseid, but I think having Keith David's range helps more of what they're trying to convey. Queen of Fables is a bit of a downgrade, but she served her role fine. At least the likes of Kite Man and Bane are the same. Bane was a character I found more annoying in the Harley Quinn show, but in this show of losers he's weirdly more tolerable. Like, putting him next to these guys, he actually seems way more competent.
B is for back off, ladies, plenty of me to go around.
Delving more into complaints, one of which is the humor. I already talked about it being subjective, and what makes me laugh isn't much of a criteria anyway. However, there are several gross out running gags, which don't seem to serve much of a point in general other than, oh, that happened. Like half of a conjoined twin decaying while the other half is oblivious, and in other words, the head of a Queen of Fables keeps being swapped from other people's bodies, resulting in the head of Queen of Fables being put on the dead half of a conjoined twin's body. Then an episode later, she just gets her own body back. Like, outside of humor or potential humor, I don't see what it does for anyone, it's just gross. Also, there's like some forced relationship drama with Kite Man and Golden Glider. They were set up as the really passionate couple who do anything for each other, only to get bogged down in random insecurities, which not only do they seem better than, literally don't seem realistic to them. It's the point where Kite Man randomly has a personality change with gang powers. Then the next episode, Golden Glider has a personality change due to the anti-life equation. I mean, at least at this point, it's literal mind-altering stuff. It reminds me of a lot of relationship drama in later seasons of Harley Quinn, but it theoretically seems worse here since they seem to have more likability as a couple. Like, there was an intro episode in the Harley Quinn show where it seemed like such, but I guess they gotta have that drama. Ultimately, it just seems to amount to laziness. Like, they could do all the weird gonzo-y stuff they want, but when they resort back to this stuff, it's like, oh, back to the drawing board. I also recall when doing the video on comic book relationships, I considered Harley and Ivy, but I had a limit and worked with Big Free anyway. Anyway, overall, if you're curious with Kite Man, feel free to check it out. Don't worry about the recast and probably embrace anything. Wondering if people have similar thoughts and such? Anyway, cheers.